In the past units, I have learned about language and how we can teach it to the future student we may confront, and also I have learned about the different points of view we can approach the language. In this case, since English is now a global tool for communication, we must forget that this was once a single language that belonged to a country. Now it's rather a global community, the one that possesses English, and since we are the English teachers of the future, we must be able to let our students learn in a way that they can use the language like their own, so they don't feel pressured by the standards of the countries that are oppressing the rest of the countries and dictating which ones are the standard and which ones are not. We must understand that since language is, like I said before, a tool for communicating, we must approach it as such. We must understand that different type of dialects that use English as a base exist, and we cannot just teach them when teaching. We must try to incorporate or making them easier for the students that use, say, dialects, but also keeping a neutral tone in order to make us able to understand everyone speaking the language, regardless they are from Latin America, Europe, Asia, or any other country of the globe, or any other continent. Since these units, I have tried to apply on my daily life by changing my point of view I have with the language. Before, I used to believe that only the main or the native speaking countries of English were the ones that were able to say which words were the ones we must use or which were the standard we must learn. But since the usage of English have gone global in a way that we cannot just ignore that more people that are not native but use the language, this has changed my point of view and made me realize that the usage of English in more than one way that may mix their original language is not all that wrong as long as the language, or more likely the message, get across and does not get misunderstood when we are trying to speak to each other. Another thing that I have tried to apply from the units is that I try to make myself aware of news of other countries or how they are teaching language, not only English, but different languages that are trying to be taught, and how can I use that for the future when I get to know students that may not only know Spanish, but on how to apply it here, like the different dialects that exist, and how to make myself familiar with say language that are also part of the global community, regardless of not they are considered like the formal type of language or communicating. So basically what I have learned about the unit is that language, or English more than anything, is a global tool and must be used to communicate, not to face or make standards values. And I have tried to apply that in my life, because it's no longer a thing about American type of English or British type of English. It's a global language and must be used to only get a message for the others that are trying to speak with each other, information, and basically construct a whole global community that need a lingua franca for each other to speak.